he has a small workout regimen.
But he has this machine that he's like, this machine allows me to do, what was it, 10,000?
20,000.
Or 20,000 sit-ups in the span of 10 minutes. And I'm like, what? And it's legit. It's just like a stimulation pack he like puts on his abs. It sits there and he puts on like max level and then just like, like shakes and then he's like, yeah, so it's just did 20,000 sit-ups in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
What? Welcome back to the Riff Podcast. Ripping another one. We're kind of going back to back now that the holiday season is here. Talking about Bryan Johnson. You heard this guy?
I've heard of multiple Bryan Johnsons.
Okay, yeah, that's fact. So we've been recording for our YouTube channel, which is just Jake Summers, coming out on Wednesday. And this guy named Bryan Johnson. He's, what does he call himself? A rejuvenation athlete.
Professional
rejuvenation athlete. Okay, and what it seems to me is that he's a cyborg is what I would probably equate him to.
Kind of like a Zuckerberg
type.
Like saying if they don't know who he is, it has that same vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Almost like, so I think he's a software guy, and the reason why, and this Bryan Johnson in particular is different from Liver King, the Bryan Johnson. He's in fact the exact polar opposite.
It's funny that
isn't it?
Bryan,
they're both named.
They're spelled different. Brian, I think Liver King's IA, and then he's YA, but it's pretty funny like how polar opposite they are. Bryan Johnson,
the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that they're both focusing on health and wellness. One of them is just from the form of technology, and the other is from the form of
primal,
natural,
and not completely natural, but
not natural, ancestral, like from the ground.
If the ancestors had steroids,
they're natural. But so this Bryan Johnson character, the one, let's just call him Cyborg. Okay, this guy basically. He was a software developer or something, ended up selling his company for, I think, $800 million, right? So almost near $1 billion. When you have that kind of money, you don't, nothing matters, right? At that point. The only thing that matters is time. Because the only thing that we all have on this earth that is a constant is time.
Yeah.
Right? So when you have the world, you have everything, except for time, what are you trying to do?
There's two answers, Zach. I know the answer you want, but there's another answer.
I mean, the one, let me see if I can guess the other. The first one is the fact that you want to control the time.
More time, yeah.
Yeah. The answer that I think you're saying is you want to control your soul.
No, if you have everything, it's what they talked about actually on that. We keep on going back to that George Janko Andrew Tate podcast about power.
Oh,
power.
Once
you have all the money and everything, you want power.
Yeah. Well, you do want power, but I think if you have enough money, then you have enough power.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can pretty much do anything with, because money is equated to power.
Yeah, but that's what, once you have all the money, then enough money doesn't give you more. Like you just need, that's what they're talking about. Like they're like all those elites, whoever, they have all the money, so now they're going for the power. They want to control countries and control.
Not only do they want, I think they have.
Yeah,
I think they have the power. You look at, there's one book, if you guys are interested in it, and there's one 48 Laws of Power, right? That one specifically tells you how to do that. Machiavelli is a old, in the before it was in the 1400s, before Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Machiavelli, he was a politician who wrote a book called The Prince, sent it to sent it to a prince to say this is how you control absolute populations and power. Yeah. It's actually what started the all the stuff in Germany in the 40s, all after that, the Soviet Union and Russia, that was all originated from Machiavelli.
Yeah.
And then the 48 Laws of Power originated from that. So since the dawn of human existence, people have wanted power, right? People in control. They wanted money. Money comes then power. Power then comes the one thing that everyone wants to control but can't is time.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's a constant. The time on this earth is ultimately what everyone That is the ultimate equalizer.
Which I guess it kind of does, because instead of having to work a 9 to 5 every day, you pay someone else to do your stuff. So I mean, you gain time with money.
Oh yeah.
So it's what, like, money does increase or does give you some time, but not enough to.
Well, I'm not talking about freedom, because money buys freedom. Freedom then allows you to, like
Have time.
Have more time. Yeah. You're talking, but like you could still, like, you don't need. You could have zero money and still have all the time in the world. Like, you can just go out on the mountain.
Yeah, but I was not living comfortably though.
Okay. Then we'll get into a whole other thing, a whole other rabbit hole. That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about time, right? Ultimate equalizer. Okay, because the time on this earth is what everyone wants to have more of. Bryan Johnson is developing this sort of protocol that helps him age his time backwards, reverse time, right, of his own biological body. Because what I've tend to find is that this hand is not my hand, right?
Sure.
Hear me out. These eyes are not my eyes, right? This hair is not my hair. Anything, this wall is not my wall. We can't own anything because our soul is all we have. Everything else is not ours. It's not mine. They can cut it off and it's not mine. It's not my soul, right? My hand doesn't think. Like, my hand would just be gone. It's not my hand.
I think that's getting to the point of, I see, like, the land one, like, stuff like that, because, like, they can take your land, like.
Wait, what? What are you talking about, land?
Like how we talked about in the last, or it might have been 2 podcasts ago, like, because how I brought up, you said that if you want to invest something, invest in land, because you can own land and then whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, that one I can see, because, like they said in that, like, they can, government, if they want your land, they'll sign another piece of paper and say, now it's our land, and you lose it. Like, the hand, I feel like the hand and the body, like, your body's yours.
No,
because, like, they can chop off my hand, but then they chopped off my hand. Like,
it depends on what
I think it's just going too far to, like, saying you don't own your eyes. Like, I think that's just to the point where people are like, all right, like,
well, I mean, they're probably going to say that, but inevitably that comes down to your religion, your philosophy. Like, do you believe that nothing comes after this time? And okay, if you believe that, then yes, this is yours. For me personally, I believe my soul is going to move on into another existence, and it may not. My body doesn't go with my soul. My soul is left. My body's left here on this earth. My body's only the vessel that carries my soul. So it's not a part of. It's not me. It doesn't make me for who I am. It can influence my soul. Like, so if I'm fat and obese, then I look at myself and, like, my soul and my, like, what I've done, and I'm like, well, shit, I have ruined my body. So now it influences my soul, but it doesn't make
you ruined what body?
Me. I keep.
My body. Oh.
I ruined my body. I've said my hand. I've said my stuff. Like, it's English. Still speaking the English language, but inevitably it comes down to it is not mine. It's God's. It's God's body. It's God's, like, everything.
Well, I would say that it's God's, like, your soul is God's.
I mean, yes, but your soul is God's. Okay, yes.
Checkmate. Checkmate.
That doesn't.
Anyways, old Bryan Johnson.
Like, you God. Okay. So God controls your soul.
Because that's what I was going to say when you're like, your soul is actually mine. Well, really, it's not. It's God's. And I knew you were going to be like, well, I know. But then when you said, but my body's God's, I'm like, well.
God controls your soul. Or he does it. He gives you the ability to do as you please with it. Like,
still his, though.
Like, you're saying he can take it.
So then,
take your soul and sell it to the devil.
He can do whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants.
That's what. So you're saying, so he can control your soul, but it's still yours. But then your soul can control your body, so it's still yours.
Yes, it's his. I trust him. I'm here with them. All right, it's your soul.
Oh, I love winning.
Bryan Johnson, okay. Bryan Johnson, the dude. I don't think he has a soul.
Yeah,
he just wants he just wants more time on this planet. So what he's done, we haven't even got to his. He spent so much money trying to keep his body alive for longer. In fact, so much money that he's starting to reverse his age. Apparently, is what it says.
Yeah.
So he's not aging anymore. What do you say? He's like a 12-year-old now.
He said he's aging slower than the rate of a 10-year-old.
A 10-year-old, yeah, aging slower than the rate of a 10-year-old. First off, what does that mean?
Yeah, and he also said another thing where he's like, my body, like throughout my body, I'm hundreds of years old. He's like, my left ear is 67 years old. my mind is 30 years old, and he's like, my like build is like 20 years old. Like, 'cause I guess he gets all these. That's one of the biggest things. He's like the most tested human.
Yeah, which okay, I mean that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, like 'cause I think what he's doing, he's like his ear. Maybe he has like a bad hearing, so like he's like, yeah, you have the hearing of a 67-year-old, but just in the left ear. So that's where he's like getting that stuff from.
Okay.
And like his body's in the shape of like what a 24-year-old could do right now. So then he's like, his body's the age of a 24-year-old.
Okay.
I think that's the route he's going with.
Maybe he's doing it for a way, like just for us to talk about.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think his sole purpose is to increase his lifespan, or do you think it's to eventually have a regiment to sell to people? Which he's a billionaire, so I don't know if he needs the money.
More money. I don't think he wants more money. I think his inevitable goal is to spend more time on this earth. That's what he wants to do. But he's very like robotic.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if he cares about humans.
Yeah.
I think he just wants.
He's definitely. I don't think he's very empathetical. For
yeah.
sure.
I don't either. Like the homie, 111 pills.
Yeah.
Like those are people that scare me, dude.
It's like 40 pills in the morning, 40 pills in the afternoon.
Like that's not human.
Yeah.
Like and those people, like I'm to a degree probably closer to Bryan Johnson than I am Liver King.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to move to this other side as much as I can and reconnect with nature, reconnect with God, right? Spirits. But he's cold. Like,
you think you're closer to billionaire Bryan Johnson than Liver King?
Yeah, I think I was, and I think I'm shifting. I'm doing my best to shift because I realize
it's hard because I would say
dark
just because I don't know if we mentioned it, but we'll call him Liver King Bryan Johnson.
Yeah, Liver King.
Bryan Johnson, he's vegan, so and then Liver King's completely opposite of vegan. So like for me, I'd say you're more, and then like just like the whole like workout thing. I feel like you're closer to Liver King.
Well, so I'm trying to get there, right? I don't like think of me 3 years ago, 4 years ago. You think I was? Where do you think I was?
I still would say Liver King, just because how.
I mean, I like hunting.
Just because how far Bryan Johnson is on the spectrum of their like.
I think I was going towards that way. Maybe.
Maybe.
I was going towards that way, and I'll tell you what changed my mind. It's Star Wars. I swear, dude. As much as you may laugh, look at it, dude. Yoda or Darth Vader, right? So that's what it is. It's the yin and yang. It's polar opposites. It's technology. Like this man is controlled by technology versus Yoda, who's just an organism that just developed his mind with the spirit and nature.
Yeah.
So literally what it is. And so it's basically the dark side or the good side.
Yeah.
Right? Which Star Wars is a philosophical film. Like it was established on like May the Force be with you. Yeah. May God be with you. Right? All of these things in Star Wars connects to religion, the yogis, introducing the Western culture with the Eastern culture.
What's the yogis?
Like the monks, like Buddha.
Is that a Star Wars thing or is that like
no?
Oh, okay.
It's like real life, like Buddha, like the yogis are like the professors of yoga kind of deal.
Yeah.
But all those, and that's Eastern like medicine, like Eastern medicine in China and those guys, they don't do SSRIs, right? They meditate.
I don't know what that is either.
SSRIs pill is, it's like what we get medicated for depression.
Oh.
Right? In the West, you go to the doctor, you're like, I'm depressed. All right, here's some SSRIs. Take those. And then you become a zombie. Now you're using technology in order to fix yourself. Whereas in the East, you go to the doctor and say, I'm depressed. And they say, well, go sit on this mountain and think about it.
Yeah.
And then,
and that's another thing about Bryan Johnson is, in case you all know, like he doesn't work out. I don't know if he does. Like he probably does work out.
No, he does. He has a small workout regimen.
But he has this machine that he's like, this machine allows me to do, what was it, 10,000?
20,000.
Or 20,000 sit-ups in the span of 10 minutes. And I'm like, what? And it's legit. It's just like a stimulation pack he like puts on his abs. It sits there and he puts on like max level and then just like, like shakes and then he's like, yeah, so it's just 20,000 sit-ups in 10 minutes. Yeah. And you're like, what?
What? Like, what are you even doing, dude? And not to mention, I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I mean, I guess calling out his abs is maybe hate. Yeah. So maybe I won't say that. But I can see there's better ways to do it. Yeah. Right? Not only that, you're building the discipline. Like, maybe is he trying to do this? Like, he has discipline, though. Homie has discipline. If you eat 111 pills every single day, and he was talking about, because he has a YouTube channel, and he was talking about when he's going out, like they were at a family vacation or something, and they were taking pictures, and he's like, I have to be home at this time so I can go to bed on time, because one thing I will not miss is my sleep window.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah. What? Your sleep, dude. Live. Yeah. He's not living. He's so far in this machine level that there's no life in that.
Now he tracks like his calories down to a single calorie. That's what we were talking about. He said he's like used to, and that's another thing about the sleep. He was like, I think he was on a podcast, and he's like, yeah, for breakfast, I would always have my breakfast, and I'd have 3 ounces of alcohol. And the guy's like, for breakfast? Like, why? He's like, because it's the furthest away from my sleep, so it doesn't affect my sleep. And then, but he liked alcohol so much, and he's like, but I had to take it out because it was too expensive and a caloric
deficit.
Yeah, caloric deficit. He's like, the 3 ounces were 72 calories. And I was like, 72 calories? Like, that's nothing. Like how do you get
off my pretzel?
Like, if you enjoy, like, there's other good reasons to cut out alcohol. But if he enjoys alcohol, he made it sound like he loves like wine and stuff, and his sole reason is those 72 calories. I'm like, dude, you can live a little. Like,
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
I think his life, dude, is like so far in one direction that it's just like, I don't know.
He's a different mindset.
Yeah, he does. Which, I mean, yeah. I mean, to each your own. Like, I'm not telling him.
What he's doing is probably better than what the average American's doing.
Yeah, man. I mean, yes, because he's thinking about it. Yeah. Right? He's thinking about his health. That's what you're saying. Yeah, he's thinking about his health. Like I said, like vegans, for instance, I commend more than just a normal American, because even though I despise vegans, I commend them for the fact that they're on their path. They're on their way. Because I was, not that I ended up being vegan, but when I read I watched that first documentary about health, I forgot what it was, but I was like, I cut out red meats for a while. For like probably 6 months. I didn't eat red meats. I ate fish.
Yeah.
And then I that was my first path into it. And then I was like, wait, I was wrong. And so that's where it gets dangerous for Bryan Johnson. What if he's been doing all of this stuff for so long, and then he realizes, oh, I was wrong?
Which he does say that, like, for the vegan stuff, he says it's not a necessity. Like, I'm sure he knows. Maybe he doesn't know, but I'm sure, like, he's seen research. He's looked into everything. So, like, I'm sure he's seen that red meats and stuff aren't bad for you, but he says more of a preference. Like, he's saving the animals. And
yeah, correct. But where is it based out of? Because all research is bias.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, it's a human doing it. No robot does research. They try to eliminate the bias as much as possible, but if research is done at Harvard, you're going to get different results than if the research is done out of China.
Yeah.
Right? There's different research being done there, just for the fact, like, even if it's the same study, the same everything being, it's this fact that there is human error in every one of these things. And so I think I just live life, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of.
It's not bad to have a regimen, obviously. Like,
no, it's good. Yeah.
But to an extent.
To an extent, and then still, live. Yeah, no, not YOLO.
Yeah.
YOLO is not it. I'm not ever a proponent in YOLO, because that's instant gratification. I think delaying gratification is always better, but that comes with living your life now.
Yeah.
Living in the present, and not trying to control time, and the inevitable time that is the great equalizer. And so, Guy, what do you think? You think Bryan Johnson, the techno guy, is the way, or do you think it's more like Liver King kind of reality, or is it in that middle ground where we probably live, right in the middle, where there's technology but also a little bit of natural, holistic as well? What do you think? Let us know in the comment section. Otherwise, guys, if you appreciate it, we're here Monday and Friday every single week, and to continue to be. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, talk to you in the next one. Peace.